Oh, man. Oh, man. Come on, man. What is it? What? They're ruining a classic.
Fastest crime of the fast.
You didn't know you were doing Sister
I know
Act
you
today.
got a lot. My name is Matt Little. Drinking tequila and cranberry. Mateo, aka T Baron, ruining a classic called E.T. Let's go. So we start E.T. with a unidentified flying object landing in a forest in Northern California. At this time, looked like local townies, maybe police officers, notice that something has landed in the forest. They come and investigate. While one of these extraterrestrials venture off, the UFO notices, and one of the extraterrestrials' hearts starts beating beats red. Kind of signals to them to all retreat back to the UFO so they can leave. Come on, man. So that same night, they pan into Elliot's house. Elliot's the young child who befriends E.T. later in the movie. And it's Elliot, his brother Michael, and some of Michael's friends in the scene. And they're playing this game called Tunnels and Trolls. One friend said that, hey, if you go outside and pick up our pizza, you can come back inside and play. So Elliot's like, okay, deal. So he takes some money, goes outside, pays the pizza man. You know, that's how times are back then. You go outside, you pay the pizza man. When he gets to the shed, he finds his baseball mitt and a softball sitting outside the shed. So he picks up the mitt, he picks up the softball, and he throws it into the shed. Seconds later, the softball gets thrown back out at him. And he screams! He screams like a little girl, dude. It's one of the most annoying sounds in the entire world. He goes outside to check out what it is, but he can't find anything. All of a sudden, something pops out. Ah! It's E.T. Elliot returns back to his home. The next scene goes into the night later when Elliot's at home with his sister Gertie, who's played by Drew Barrymore. Her first acting scene. She was a young child. They're sitting at the dinner table, and Michael and Gertie are kind of making fun of Elliot. Oh, was it an iguana you saw? Oh, you're seeing things. Is it a goblin? Oh, you're crazy, Elliot. So Elliot wakes up. He fakes sick. Basically plays hooky. We know what that's like. Messing with some things in Elliot's bedroom. At the time, he opens up an umbrella and it scares the shit out of him. He screams, ah! Elliot screams. Elliot gets scared, drops some milk. There's milk spilling on the floor. Michael and Gertie get home from school. Michael in his football uniform comes into the house. Elliot's like, Michael, come into my room. I got something to show you, but you have to swear. The most excellent swear of all time. At this moment, Elliot goes to his closet. He brings E.T. out of the closet, shows Michael. Michael's like, what the fuck is that, dude? Literally backs into the wall, knocks the shelf off the wall, books falling everywhere, dude. Michael is shocked. He has no idea what the fuck he's seeing right now. Straight up, dude. But that's no fault to him. If I saw an alien, I'd feel the same fucking way, dude. I mean, what the fuck is that? So Gertie sees E.T. for the first time, and she's screaming, bah! So at this time, E.T.'s like, nah! Elliot answers the door. Mom comes in, and she asks, what's going on? But in the meantime, Michael's in the closet. He's got Gertie. Elliot goes back to the closet. He's like, oh, that was a safe one. They go into the closet. E.T.'s standing there. They're all observing him. They're trying to convince Gertie, like, look, you cannot say anything to Mom. You cannot talk about this whatsoever. They had to convince Gertie. She had a little baby doll. So they took the baby doll. They were, like, threatening to rip it. They were like, look, if you don't stay quiet, we'll get rid of it. She was like, okay, fine. So they're trying to understand where E.T.'s from. They're trying to understand what he's got going on. They're pointing on Earth, like, where are you from? We're from here. We're from California. And he flips the page to, like, outer space. And they have, like, little Play-Doh balls sitting on the desk at the time. Gertie looks under the desk and she sees E.T.'s feet and she's like, ugh, his feet are gross. Turns out that's ad-libbed. Drew Barrymore was like grossed out by dude's feet. The next morning, all the kids go back to school. Elliot included. He didn't play hooky this time. He goes to school. Michael goes to school. Gertie goes to school. As the mom is leaving to take Gertie to school, she hears a noise upstairs. She goes upstairs and checks it, looks into Elliot's closet. She sees all the stuffed animals that are in Ellie and Gertie's closet because they're kind of combined closets. And E.T.'s sitting there frozen. She looks right past them, doesn't notice them, so she leaves. All of Michael's friends are at the bus stop with Michael. They're kind of making fun of Elliot, like, oh, did you see your goblin? Is your goblin still alive? Did you see him in the shed again? Making fun of him. One dude's got these colossal fucking headphones, dude.
Yeah, Beats
you can
back
tell
in the 80s,
you can
dude.
tell this shit's in the 1980s, dude. In the meantime, E.T.'s at home all by himself. Elliot didn't play hooky this time. E.T.'s at the home by himself. He goes downstairs. The dog kind of runs into him, but the dog's kind of like, you know what? Fuck alien, you cool, dog. He sees a can of Coors Light, so he opens it. He pops it. Chugs the whole thing in one drink. He's drunk, dude. He starts walking around the kitchen. He runs into cabinets. Ba 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 ba. What you don't remember is that earlier in the movie, him and Elliot formed a bond. So when E.T. was chugging those beers, Elliot's at school at the time, and he's in science class, and he starts burping. E.T. runs into a cabinet. He falls flat on his face. He's feeling good. E.T.'s never drank beer before. He gets back in the fridge, he gets back in the fridge, and he cracks another one. He drinks another whole fucking beer. So at this point, Elliot's feeling it. Elliot's drunk in class. So he's looking at these frogs who have all this chloroform in the jar. And he's like, save these frogs. Make sure these frogs are straight, dog. So he opens all the jars of the frogs and he opens them up. He pours them out. All of a sudden, this kid slides in the ground. Elliot, this motherfucker, he stands on top of her because he's shorter than the girl and he has to kiss her. In the meantime, there's something on the TV where it's explaining the letter B. B. So Gertie says, B, B. And E.T. responds to her, B. B. Like he says it right back to her. So he's starting to understand language. It pans to Elliot coming home, walking up the stairs. You already know he's in trouble because of the...
He got blackout drunk on Coors Light.
Because he was drunk on Coors Light and let all the frogs going. Frog letting. Turns out Gertie dressed up E.T. He's got a wig on, got a hat on. He looks like a girl. I said, Gertie, what did you do? Turns out Gertie did a lot. She taught him words. She taught him how to speak. Right when Elliot got home, first thing E.T. said was, Elliot. He knew dude's name. Just like that.
Looked like Audrey Hepburn.
Looked like Audrey Hepburn's mom. And the main thing that Gertie taught him was phone home. E.T. phone home. So the finger starts lighting up. E.T. phone home. As E.T.'s kind of fading away, Elliot kind of feels those same feelings, but he carries on. He supplies this equipment to E.T. to make this transmitter, and Elliot cuts his finger on it. And he holds it up. He's like, ouch, because he's bleeding. Cut his finger on it, and E.T.'s like, ouch. And his finger lights up, and he touches Elliot's finger. Ouch. And he just fucking touches it, and it heals. No more blood. There's no scar. Heals finger out of fucking nowhere, dude. So on Halloween night, Elliot and Michael, they're in the living room. They're taking pictures with the mom. It's literally little tiny E.T. in a sheet with eyes cut out like as a ghost. He sees this fucking knife through Michael's head, and he thinks it's a real knife, so he's like trying to pick his fingers outside the sheet. He's like, ouch. Ouch. They run into a little Yoda, and E.T. notices Yoda, and he kind of turns around like, nah, like a friend of mine from the universe. Elliot's trying to get out to the forest as fast as he can on his bike, and E.T. assists him by making the bike fly. And they fly out to the forest. They fly out to the bald spot. It pans into the next morning, and here's the mom with Michael and Gertie in the living room saying, "Duh! He was wearing this! He's dressed as this! We haven't seen him all night! Duh!" And all of a sudden they close the refrigerator and boom! There's Elliot. He's right there. He's still dressed in his Halloween costume. He's dying. He's withering away. He's like white.
He looks like the white dog turd from Step Brothers.
He literally looks like a white dog turd from Step Brothers. And she's like, "Ah!" Like, get away from this thing. Come on, get away from it. This thing's dying in the bathroom. She takes all the kids away. She runs downstairs. She hears a knock on the door. Ba, 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 ba. She opens the door. Dude in full astronaut gear. I'm telling you. So what happens, they put an entire bubble, kind of like 2020 is going right now. They put an entire bubble around these people's house with a tunnel, like a plastic tunnel that goes from the outside into the house. They got E.T. He's dying. They got him hooked up to all the monitors, all the telemetry. But at the same time, they got Elliot hooked up to the same shit. Because Elliot and E.T. had that, that unbreakable bond. The scientist comes in and talks to Elliot, and he's like, "Look, we need to keep E.T. We have to study him. We have to learn about him so we know for future." And Elliot's like, "No, you guys need to leave him alone. He's my best friend. He's my guy. He's my At one point, they called it. E.T.'s dead. He's flatlined. Dude's dead. But he opens the shit up. E.T.'s in a plastic bag, but he's just laying there dead. So Elliot's trying to explain to him, like, "You were my best friend. I love you. You meant everything to me." Da, 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 da. And all of a sudden you see this red light. So his heart started beating. He opened his eyes again and was like speaking to Elliot, like, E.T., phone home, like speaking. Elliot's trying to shut the fuck up, dude. Like, shut up. If they know you're alive, they're gonna take you away from me. As they reach this barricade, E.T. uses his extraterrestrial powers. He makes all the kids' bikes. Whoop! They start flying. They fly over all these cop cars, bro. No one's stopping them at this point. They're flying. E.T. takes his pointer finger, the same pointer finger with the light on it. He touches Elliot's forehead and says, "I'll be right here." I ruined a classic, but it was worth it. I'm Matt Little, signing out.